I want to show you how to throw a donut form. A donut form can be used to create a vase or a teapot or even a ceramic sculptural form. I have started with a centered piece of clay. I would initially start throwing a donut form with maybe 2 pounds of clay or more. It really depends on the size of the end shape that you're going after. So once my clay is centered, I want to work on flattening the form a bit. This is a very tall mound of clay that needs to be shorter and wider. So I'm flattening the clay before I open. This center area always tends to bulge up a little bit higher than the outside edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my fist slightly to the outside right of the center and use my left hand to press down onto my right fist. Now I have established a flatter mound of clay. So now I'm ready to open. When I open up the clay, instead of using my thumbs, I'm going to use the tips of my fingers pressing through the sponge. You want to go all the way down to the bat. Then you need to gradually and slowly drag your fingers in the sponge across the bat to widen the opening. It is very important to take your time doing this. If you try to move too quickly, you will knock your clay off center. Now you can see how there's areas that are uneven. I have kind of this rim that is happening on this edge that I want to get rid of, and that's happening because I'm pushing this clay out, and so it has to go somewhere. I'm going to flatten this down to kind of keep that area under control by pressing down firmly with the sponge and supporting that inside wall with my left hand. So I now have a wide band of clay in a circular shape on the bat, and you can see the bat through the center of this band of clay. That's what it looks like from above. So now I'm ready to open up the wall of that ring. So I'm going to take my thumb, and I'm working on the right side of the clay. And I'm going to open up with my thumb by pressing my thumb down through the center of the band. So now I have split the wall, and I'm going to now pull up the inside and outside ring. I'm going to start with pulling up the inside, and now I'm going to jump to the outside. And then back to the inside. So I'm now pulling up 2 walls, an inside wall and an outside wall. Now I'm going to be ready to close in the donut form, but before I do that, I need to make sure that there's no water collecting on the inside, because this area will soon be completely trapped. So you want to get the water out. And now the fun yet scary part begins, which is pushing the two walls together to create a hollow form. Whoopsie, going for a little ride there. Checking wall thickness real quick. Yep, I'm good. All right, hands wet. Push the inside and outside wall together. Make sure that you know right where that red rib tool is, because you're going to be using that in a moment here. Push the two walls together. And then use your rib tool to shape. Right now, this is a very irregular shape, so I just want to take my time. Do not use a lot of pressure, and use a rounded red rib tool to curve the top as well as the sides of the form. So this is where you want to take the time to change the shape in any way that you see necessary. I'm dragging my thumb on the inside wall to kind of get that inside wall curved a little bit more down where the bat is. And I have created a donut form. So the next thing I'm going to need to do is flip this form over, trim it in the round, and then I can stand it upright and turn it into a teapot or a vase. And I'll show you those steps later.